Hi, and welcome back to Home Stuff Review. Today we're going to discuss whether you should use smart switches or smart bulbs. I think there is a general best approach, and I'll share that with you. However, it's not a universal answer, so I'm going to walk through some other scenarios. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or another viewpoint, please share them in the comments down below. I will answer all of your questions. Okay, let me come out with it right at the beginning here. In my opinion, I think it's best to replace your dumb switches with smart switches as opposed to using just bulbs. What are my reasons for this? Well, probably the number one reason is just so that your lighting controls are more intuitive. It is great that the light can be controlled remotely, but often you want to have that local control as well. There may be other people in your family that aren't as in tune to the home automation, and also you'll have guests come over that have no idea that you have automation in your home. So they'll want to have what they're used to, which is switches. Now, if you don't have a switch and you have bulbs, if somebody turns off that switch, then they're going to lose that remote control. If you're using bulbs instead of that switch, then when you turn the wall switch off, now you'll no longer have control of your light bulbs. You won't be able to remotely turn them on or off. Also, other people in your family may not be as in tune to home automation, and especially if you have guests come over that may not even realize that you have home automation, they're going to be used to using the switches, and you're going to go around telling everybody that, hey, don't turn off that switch, otherwise my home automation is not going to work. I know you can buy switches that work remotely with the bulbs that you can put in place. Those may be a good option. You have to buy 2 devices then, and they have some other drawbacks, but that is one option that it's out there. Number 2, there are many times when a switch will be more economical than buying bulbs. This comes into play if you have more than 2 bulbs that are being controlled by an individual switch. Bulbs can cost anywhere from $10 to $15 at the low end, and going up from there. Switches can cost about $40 on the low end and going up from there. And both of those depend on the brand and the capabilities of the bulb or the switch. But you can kind of see the math there. There are a few other circumstances that I wanted to go through. First of all, what if you're a renter? If you're a renter, you have to concern yourself with having a landlord and what will that landlord allow you to do. If you have a bulb, you're not going to need to get permission. Bulbs are easy enough to just kind of screw in when you move in, and the nice part too is when you leave, you can replace all your smart bulbs with regular bulbs and you're out the door and you can reuse them in your next place. If you're a renter and you want to use smart switches, don't think that you cannot. I'd encourage you to talk to your landlord. I can't guarantee that all will feel this way, but some landlords may feel that putting in a automation is going to increase the value and the rent that they can get for the apartment. So they may even be willing to pay for it as long as you put it in, and that'll just increase the value of their property. Now, another circumstance is if you need to be able to change the color of the light or the color temperature, the white color temperature of the light. A switch will only be on, off, or dim, so it cannot change colors or do anything like that. That's all it can do. With smart bulbs, that could be different. Now, there are some smart bulbs that are just kind of on, off, or dim, and you can buy the color temperature that you want, a soft light or a daylight light. But there are other kinds that add a lot more flexibility. So there are some bulbs out there. You can get a white bulb that'll allow you to control it'll stay white, but it'll allow you to control the temperature. So you can make it a soft white light, like incandescent, all the way up to a daylight light. So, anywhere from, color temperature of 3,000 up to 5,000. Then there are bulbs where you can completely control the color altogether. So you can change it from green to blue to red, any color you want. Another thing to think about is if you're going down the switch route, is most people will think about the normal single pole kind of switch. It's just replacing a single switch. But there are other types of switches out there that can be pretty handy too. So if you replace it, the normal switch is going to control a single light. but you can also get keypad switches, and a keypad switch can control a single light, but it can also have additional buttons on there that control other either lights or devices in the room or even outside of the room. Let me give you one example. So I have some keypad switches in bedrooms where have overhead ceiling fans, and the main switch will control the light on, off, dim, but some of the other buttons on there can control both the ceiling fan as well as some other lights in the room. Now, another thing you can do with having those extra buttons is to use them for scenes. If you buy bulbs from the same manufacturer, you can usually organize them into themes. And those themes could be like a party mode where you have certain lights on, off, or dimmed, and that might be a party mode, and you can program that in. So you could have, normal living mode, party mode, and whatever other scenes make sense for that particular area of your home. Another question you may have is, how can I control lights that are controlled by multiple switches? These are called three-way switches or four-way switches, depending on how many light switches you have. Well, smart switches can handle that situation as well. What you'll do is you'll install a smart switch that actually controls the light in the outlet box where the light is actually wired to. Then any other locations where you have a switch that controls the same light, you'll install a smart switch, but you won't control the load wire, so it won't actually be controlling the switch. It'll just be acting like a remote control. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps us out. If you want to know when new videos come out, be sure to click the button with the bell icon for notifications. Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.